Third set of dry clothes for the day. Water obviously got in the garden, and these are our beans and stuff. I'm gonna try to dig some weep holes, some little trenches to let the water come back out of it rather than waiting on the ground to absorb it all. The ground is so saturated right now, I think that would take a while. So I'm just gonna cut a few weep holes wherever I think the water is the deepest and let it drain.
And attempt to salvage these beans.
Yeah, Jenna's down here with me now. She's we were able to get across the creek with the tractor downstream.
There you go.
Obviously our fences are still off.
Yeah, we turned the fences off. And
so recording with your phone.
we didn't want to bring the camera down because it's still pretty moist. It's still sprinkling, misting. We can't actually get the tractor over here because of the fences, but we drove the tractor down over here. And I want to show you something. You see these crazy cows? They crossed the flooded creek.
Like a bunch of nuts.
We were like, are you serious?
Carly told me the cows were across the creek, and I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, well.
What a bunch of crazies. So here's our water line right now, right there.
Yep.
You'll see how much it goes down. I'm going to take these gloves off and try to pull some of these sticks and stuff out of here.
Well,
the water definitely pulled the beans over.
I have boots.
Yeah, you got waterproof boots on.
Let me show you. Oh, my battery is low too, so yeah, that's totally up to my ankles.
Yeah, it was way more than that before.
Oh yeah. It was the last time I took pictures. Oh, the water was up to the generator.
It was what? I couldn't hear you.
It was almost up to the generator. It was like up in here and way over into here, like this whole area. All this was wet. You can see these beans are down on the ground where the water.
Yeah.
Was on them.
Well, the water. Go ahead and get this piece of bamboo out, please. Since you've got muck boots. All my muck boots where I fell in the creek were full of water, so I didn't put them back on. Go ahead and pick it up so it doesn't damage any bean plants.
Look, bean beetle eggs.
Are they?
Yep.
Hey, good thing you saw those.
A whole cluster of them.
Killed them.
Yeah, those, we'll have to...
They probably drowned.
No, those eggs are still nice and hard. I don't think they drowned. We'll have to check our beans really good for eggs, so...
Yeah, we still haven't gotten neem oil.
They would have washed off anyway, so...
Right, exactly.
It rained all day yesterday, but it was just a steady drizzle. The creek didn't get up yesterday. Today, and in the night, it was just a downpour, and this morning...
We have all this.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the creek when I came down here.
If we had
this morning.
Derek had not put that berm up, we wouldn't have a garden.
Yeah.
That was rushing on that end, and it was coming right up to the berm, and if the berm hadn't been there, I believe it would have come at least partway in the garden. And it would have been rushing water, so it would have washed out a lot of this where it came up, but it really wasn't flowing much. It was just rising and sitting, There was a little bit of flow down here, but...
And I thank God for the berm, because the berm wasn't anything that I had in my mind at all when I started cleaning this area up to put the garden down here. I was doing it and I thought, wow, I've got to put this dirt somewhere. And I was going to put it like up here, just up into the woods, and get it like, just move the dirt, get it out of the way. And it was almost like, you know, the still small voice, you should build a berm with it. And I was like, well, okay, I'll build a berm. That would be cool. And I didn't attribute it to the Holy Spirit at the time. But
now you know.
Now I know, yeah. I've been trying to get better at listening to that still small voice.
Yeah.
Because it pays off every time. Yep, the water's going down.
Yeah, hopefully these beans will bounce back. If they do, great. If they don't,
we've still got a bunch. I think they'll be okay. I really do. Beans are pretty tough.
Plant, but I don't know if we'll be able to find beans.
Yeah, I said the same thing earlier. Yeah, try to loosen them up.
Yeah, this is all
Covered up with sediment and debris, leaves and junk. I really do think they'll come right back though.
Yeah.
If we can get this water drained off of them.
It's blowing out where you dug that little bit.
It's down an inch or more already. Look, it's still flowing out. And I may have to dig this trench deeper here in a little bit.
I'm not really worried about the radishes because they were about done anyways.
Right.
But it's the beans. Oh, there's lots of little critters in here.
Are there?
Well, worms.
Oh. Yep, I'm gonna dig this trench deeper, I think.
Yeah, you can see where the grass laid down.
Oh yeah, wow.
That tree fell. The bridge is gone, obviously.
Yeah, I think if that tree wasn't there, then the water would not have gotten into the garden. The water was hitting that tree and diverting the water. It was like shoving it to both sides. And I think that's really what caused a lot of this getting into the garden. But
these beans did pretty well, so these first 2 rows. These
yeah,
fine.
I think
just the beginning of those.
I really think they'll come on back.
The water came over the berm, obviously through here you can see.
Yeah.
From here it came over. It didn't come, it's a little taller there, so it just came over this section. Plus that's where that tree is, and it was like backing the water up so the flow was pushed through.
Yeah.
Alright. Hopefully our water pump is still in the creek, but
We'll
the
check
hose
it here
is
in a
here.
minute. The hose is here, yeah. We'll see.
Yeah,
This was definitely unexpected.
yeah.
Your main favorites are still okay. None of them
Yeah,
really flooded. Your
my
peppers and tomatoes and
look
things.
all right.
Those are your favorites.
Yeah, they are my favorites.
This is hard to try to video with this phone. It's weird.
Yeah, and I've got low battery, so it's probably, I don't know how long we'll have the video.
I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna go dig this trench out and try to get the water drained out some more.
And then you need to go see if
We
you can
gotta
salvage more fence posts.
roll some fence up and get it all untangled. You saw Jack pulling out earlier.
Yeah. Hopefully our Gallagher posts, step-in posts are still there.
All there, yeah. Over at our neighbor, Mr. Paul's,
and we haven't even gone
y'all
down
saw it. I couldn't even get to them.
And then down in the bottom of the woods over on the back of the property, down by that creek.
If I had known this was going to happen, I would have went and moved everything.
Yeah.
But there was no warning whatsoever about any kind of flooding until an hour before it happened.
All right, you can see the chicken tractors. They were lower about a foot from the water. Of course, the water was much higher than it is now.
Yeah, it flooded where they were.
Yeah, it flooded where they had been. Thank goodness we moved them. But they're all fat and happy, and they don't seem to care.
They don't seem to be bothered by it.
All right, so we came down and checked earlier, and we saw Derek dug a couple of trenches, and I flipped all the bean plants back over because they were just smashed, laid flat. So I thought, well, I took a little rake into the back of it and flipped them over.
That helped stand them back up.
I had the boots on, and it looks like about half of our beans definitely were wiped out flat. So hopefully they'll bounce back. They're not dead. So
they didn't get uprooted.
They didn't get uprooted.
They definitely got watered.
Yeah, they got watered. So we'll see. That with those trenches helped because that water was just standing there, but it's mostly run out. There's some standing over here where it's uneven. So it was like the first two, we have 7 rows of beans, and close to half of the first 2 rows were really affected, and then half of all those, more than half of those rows, probably 3/4 of these rows are missing.
Right.
The radishes will probably be fine. They were just about done anyways. We're gonna come through and pick them all soon. So all of our peppers and tomatoes look okay.
Yeah, those are your favorites.
They are my favorites.
The green beans are what we eat.
Well, green beans are our staple.
Yeah, they're the staple
You
thing.
can can tomato sauce, but you can't eat it every day with dinner.
No.
It would not be good. But you can eat green beans all the time. So.
Right.
But yeah, that was kind of wild. And then we went over and worked on rolling up wire that was all tangled mess.
Wadded up in weeds and sticks and everything.
We didn't get any video of that because our batteries were dying and it was just a lot. There was, Yeah.
Couldn't use the camera because the
Yeah, we're using
raining,
our phones.
so we're using our phones,
We
so they
know
keep
that
dying.
the sound quality is not great because it's phones. They're not gonna be
Yeah.
great. Sorry. But we found several posts. We're hoping that once all the water goes down and we can really go check everywhere, we can find all of our posts. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how many we're missing.
I don't know yet
We'll
either.
have to kind of try to
A
figure that
bunch.
out.
But anyway, we'll try to find them all.
Oh, and then Jack had lost his pocket knife when they were
Pulling wire out of the creek.
wire out of the creek earlier, and so we went over. We were hoping it had hooked on wire, but it wasn't in the wire. But then I was walking around and I found it.
Yep.
So we were glad we found this pocket knife.
Found this pocket knife. Then we got up here. The pigs were out. The mommy pig, Penelope, and the babies were out running around.
They were hanging out with Pepper.
Yeah, we had
She
to
was
put them back.
She wasn't sure what to think of that.
Yeah.
Got them in. Turned the fence back on. I don't know.
It's been a day.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted too.
It's still early afternoon and I'm exhausted. I don't even
Yeah.
know what time it is. I baked bread amongst all the excitement. Well, I mixed it up. Then Emma made it into loaves and baked it for me while we were running in and out of the house. And
Yep.
That was
So
crazy.
anyway, we got this fence. Jack put the fence back up here for the heifers.
yeah, that was kind of important.
Somehow the cows, like a couple of hours ago, crossed the creek. I mean, evidently they don't mind the flooding. So
It's like
the Terran tank, they just walked right across the creek, and they're
Cookie stayed over here by herself for a long time, and then after it went down a little more, she finally went across it.
yeah.
So,
But
all right, well, there's your update. Everything, I think it's gonna be all right. Looks
Yep.
like it was kind of scary, and like we said earlier, if Derek hadn't built that berm, we probably wouldn't have a garden. I think it would have been wiped out. It would have been rushing water because
Yeah.
it came all the way up to the end of that berm. It was up on the back side of that berm. If that berm hadn't been there, it'd been
crazy.
bad. Well,
We knew it was a risk. We took it. We thought it was the right thing to do, and I think we've dodged the bullet. I think God has saved us on this one.
so